Welcome everyone. This video today is going to cover contrarian thinking. Of course, I'm going to tackle this in a way that is interesting. I've just noticed that you typically have radio silence when you're doing just about anything in life until someone disagrees with you. Let's talk about that. Why is that? Welcome to the Relationship Theory, everyone. Here we take thoughts in, we break them down, we build them up, and we play them out. Today we'll be talking about contrarian thinking. On the contrary. Yeah, I really do want to tackle this topic though. I'm really interested in just discussing this. I want to think about this out loud with you all. Why does it seem like you get no type of communication with anyone, no support, no anything until someone disagrees? One of my ideas about this, to jump straight into it, is that most people are trained to realize what's happening in their life when it's time to resist something. I believe that most of our education in life as we've grown up has taught us that if you're not resisting something, you have no need to activate or actualize any of your senses to produce anything, because everything is all right, right? So if you're not fighting anything, that means everything's okay, right? But this assumes that danger is something that must happen loudly and overtly. I've covered this in a video a while back. It was one of the most powerful ones I think I've ever created. It was called Red versus Blue. And I'm tackling it here again, where a lot of our education, the way we've grown up, the way that we've known to see the world, see ourselves, and understand ourselves is usually activated by way of contrary, by being a contrarian or having a contradiction exist. There's just something that fuels our desire to validate ourselves the instant someone brings up something that disagrees with a perspective that we hold. The strange thing about this is, though, because I've engaged with many of these people and I've realized that a lot of them have disagreements with your perspective and don't realize it. Now, this makes for a very frustrating conversation when you realize that there's no real background, no real hard, solid foundation for why someone is saying something to you, other than the reality that they live contrary to your perspective. You don't really get anywhere in that conversation. All you get is a waste of energy and a waste of time disarming people, disarming people, disarming people. You don't spend time building, arming, constructing, adding to. You have to continually take away pieces, hopefully not from your own argument. It's a very difficult thing to remove what someone thinks of you without dismantling yourself. But most of the time, when you're dealing with contrarian thinkers, you have to dismantle their arguments. This isn't interesting. This isn't healthy. This isn't fun for anyone that's trying to build something in the world, that's actually trying to progress and advance and just do something good for someone. And as a matter of fact, if you really listen, this is the complaint from people all over the world that are actually trying to build something. They realize that every time they need something, they need someone, they need support, they need a way to become open to, they need access to an opportunity to get them to that next step, that's when they find the resistance. The entire time beforehand, they were facing no resistance. They were in no one's way. But now, when they need someone for some reason, their need is looked at as something that must be defeated. Our education it has gone terribly wrong somewhere. Now, while that's all bad, yes, okay, it's bad, but that doesn't mean that there is a way to turn things around. Like I stated, it's really difficult to have a conversation with someone and disarm them without dismantling your own conversation. But overall, that's not ever really something you want to do with people for the rest of your life, because then all you have are people with nothing to defend themselves with, and still no activity to be done. But I'm not here to talk solutions today. I honestly just want to expose this concept that people have been experiencing nowadays. Definitely, I do not believe I am the only one. Usually when I'm surfing on social media, I look at conversations and they make their points, but they don't make their points with a fundamental value that, if dismantled, would reveal the purpose. The purpose is always just, I disagree with you because I've done something that does not align with this, but otherwise would mean nothing to me. And if I never knew you, I would absolutely walk past you on any given day, even if I saw you on the street, laying on the floor. That's what we're dealing with most of the time, but I really did just want to expose that. What do you guys think about contrary thinkers? What do you think about people who seem to activate the cognitive ability in their brain the instant they know that you're wrong, rather than maybe he's right, maybe I can use my cognitive functions to add something to this conversation? What do you think about people who haven't taught themselves, because we're all adults, right? And if you're not, you're still growing up to be one. You'll have to deal with this yourself one day. But what do you think about people that have that contrary thinking? They only know how to think when it's time to fight. What do you think about them? And where do you think that people who would build if they were able to support you, who would build if they agreed with you, where do you think you can find those people? So those are the questions I'd love to pose to you all today, and thank you for coming by for another episode of TRT. Be sure to check out my podcast and the book in my bio. We are growing. We have things going on, of course. But otherwise, enjoy your day.